What's up, everyone? Coach Laxbog here, and today let's talk about something. No, it's not your strong hand, it's the other one, the weak hand. And let's talk about how to improve this weak hand. Because really, up to this point, it's been more of a supporting character. It hasn't had to be the star of the show. But in lacrosse, we changed that. We flipped the script a little bit. You need to be good equally with both hands. You know, typically growing up, you're throwing footballs in the backyard, you're throwing baseballs in the backyard, and that's going pretty well. Until you switch hands, and everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. When you switch hands to go and throw with that left hand, oh, it's the awkwardest, ugliest thing you've ever seen in your whole life. But all your life, you've been trained to throw with your strong hand. That happens. So now we have to train ourselves how to do that exact same thing on the opposite side of the body, and that's where things get tricky. So our body has come accustomed to this. Our strength is when we rotate one certain direction. Think about swinging golf clubs or swinging baseball bats. Unless you're a switch hitter, you're used to rotating your entire core one direction, which gives you increased strength and flexibility in that one direction. So we literally need to teach the body to do the exact opposite thing. And then when we get to lacrosse and we have to use both hands, part of the challenge is when we switch from the strong hand to the not so strong hand, well, the strong hand still thinks it's supposed to do its job, and that's the problem. The strong hand will often try to overcompensate, and we will still use our weak hand as a weak hand, and we will use our strong hand as a strong hand, but they are in the incorrect positions for this. A lot of players will find the issue that they will throw down too much in their offhand because their strong hand on the bottom is trying to dictate too much of the motion. So we have to retrain ourselves. So the first step, how do you get better at anything? Well, we Google it, right? And you're going to find some pretty crazy, unorthodox ideas. I want you to comment your idea below. How do you get better at your offhand? Some of the things I've seen online is, well, brushing your teeth. You know, we've always been brushing with our right hand, and it's a lot easier. So people try to switch to their left, and well, that may help you, but I don't know how you're going to get there. Eating. Eating we always do with our dominant hand. Well, try switching to your non-dominant hand and see how it goes. Maybe you'll feed your ear. Some people said, hey, try opening a doorknob. I was like, a doorknob? Switch up which hand you're going to open a doorknob? All right. So if you continue to go through your entire day doing things that are a little unorthodox, maybe that's going to help you get better at your left hand. I'm not saying that is the key to success, and that's not what our video is about today. But hey, it's worth a shot. If you get really good at brushing your teeth with your opposite hand, kudos to you. But let's get serious. How are you going to get better at your offhand? Well, first and foremost, you just got to embrace the awkwardness. This is going to be awkward. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel funny. And it should. Again, you've done everything your whole life on your dominant side. We are now teaching you a whole trunk rotation, arm rotation that is not normal for you or your body. So don't be afraid to be a little awkward throughout the beginning of the process. It is okay, and it should be. And one of the ways to help with that awkwardness, I think, is a mirror. Go to your local store. At Walmart and Target, I found, have these mirrors for $7. You can get a full-length mirror. And what you can do in it is literally practice. You stand in front of it, no ball. Don't throw a ball at a mirror. That's a terrible idea. Don't throw a ball at a mirror. You stand in front of the mirror, and you throw with your dominant hand. You see what that looks like. Then you switch. Go to your offhand. Try to mimic exactly what you just saw. Make sure you're focusing on the fine mechanics. You're getting your hands in the correct position. You know, top hand, middle of the stick. Switch to your offhand side. Top hand, middle of the stick. You're making sure your elbow is up and away from your body. No alligator arms here, T-Rex arms. Your elbow is up, your hands are away from your body. Switch to your offhand side. Your hands are up and away from your body. Do you want to step and follow through? Step and follow through. Looking at a mirror is probably the greatest way that you can improve your offhand in the very beginning to make sure that it looks the way it's supposed to look. Once you have the look down, now you want to continue to build upon that. If you're looking for a basics of throwing video, there is one on this channel as part of the Lax in 3 series. I'll put a link into the notes below so you can watch that video on how exactly to throw. But you need to make sure your form is correct before you go further. You can do all of this without actually picking up a ball. But we do need to get better at throwing the ball with our offhand. So the next thing I want you to do is to grab a ball. And what I want to see is one hand. This is the challenge we talked about before. Your offhand is often being used as the supporting cast. Well, if there's only one hand on the stick, it has to be the dominant hand. It has to do what it's supposed to do. Practicing with one hand on the stick will give you lots of good opportunities to build that strength that we need, build the flexibility in your wrist to do what it needs to do, and to train your body that your offhand can also be a dominant hand. Now that you have just your offhand on the stick and a ball with you, we're going to do wall ball. Lots of reps of wall ball. That's right. Wall ball is going to be your best friend, especially if you're trying to get better at stick work. Doesn't matter what it is. Wall ball is going to give you lots of reps. So we're going to go wall ball, just standard. Throwing against the wall, catching. Throwing against the wall, catching. Maybe I do some sidearm just to work on my muscles and my strength. Maybe I work on going underhand. What does underhand look like one-handed? Try it with your right hand if you're not sure how to do it first, and then again, mimic with your left hand. After you've done 20 reps of each with that dominant hand on the stick, now you can add your other hand into the picture, but you need to remind that hand, this is not about you today. You are the supporting cast. You are not to take over. You put that hand on the bottom of the stick, and that is simply there to do that pulling motion for you. It is not there to throw the ball. It is simply there to do that pulling motion for you. So, you need to make sure you're still going through, committed what you look like with those one-hand reps, but now you're using that bottom hand to give you a little extra leverage, a little extra snap in the pass. One other way people will recommend at times is to go to practice. Go to practice and use your offhand the entire time. Well, I don't like using it the entire time because we also shouldn't be using our dominant hand the entire time. You should use it when it's appropriate. Now, there are absolutely times where we're just throwing around with friends, and in those scenarios, use your offhand. Picking up ground balls. Ground balls is a great way to strength train that offhand. It's a great way to make that offhand better. There's lots of ways you can make the offhand better. You just got to dedicate yourself to that craft. But if you're in a drill and it causes for you to go back to your strong hand to finish it for a goal because that's where the play is, that's the right side of the body to be using, put it in your strong hand and finish the shot the way you're supposed to. But no, get as many reps as you can in practice. Totally agree. Nothing is better than actual live reps with your non-dominant hand. That will make you better. Thanks for stopping by this week. Hopefully you found some tips that were helpful. If you did, hit that like button for me. Let me know in the comments below what tip helps you the most. Thanks for coming by. As we say around here, don't forget the little things. Because if you take that step and turn the hips the right way, you're going to become a better lacrosse player. And as Shakira said, hips don't lie. It was a song back in the day. I'm sorry.